How long is a season? Could you measure it with the days on the calendar? Maybe you could cross them out. Maybe you could even measure months. But I guess if you're like me, life doesn't seem to want to stay in neatly organized days of the week. It can't be scheduled. A season isn't a set unit of time. I know my winter starts when the snow falls.
Dear, now you've been here, at least you've been by a box with a shoe and a glove.
When does your season start? Maybe it begins as the rivers surge with glacial melt. Or perhaps it's that moment that the summer heat finally dries out the trails. Or when the crisp fall temps arrive. A season is a collection of 1,000 tiny handholds, paddle strokes, heartbeats, and gear shifts. It's this amorphous span of time that can define an entire year, even a lifetime. A year and a half ago, Brian Smith and I, we posed a question. Can a single season define a career? We wanted to follow 5 of the most creative and interesting people through the course of their season. These were athletes who were pushing their sports or themselves in intriguing ways. A boulderer tries to regain her confidence and focus after a series of 9 surgeries on her knee.
Yeah, so the psychic, I don't know how much I believe in that supernatural or, people with special talents, but she knew I was in pain.
A professional snowboarder takes a stand against the way his sport does business and tries to put some soul back into his riding.
Maybe I still want to do it on a professional level, but I want to do it on a professional level where I'm making choices that I'm proud of. The whole mountain, everything slides. I basically took the rest of that year off. It really shook me up pretty good. And then I just thought, wow, maybe I want to do this more for me.
A young boater sets out to push his sport in a different direction, only to discover that Mother Nature, well, she's got a few tricks up her sleeve.
We're going to go have a great week of surfing, and we were going to get some of the bigger rides we've ever had, and pretty quickly we realized we're just hanging on. We're just trying to exist in this place, much less style it. To feel that vulnerable, coming out of a dead sleep, wearing nothing, and just popping out of the tent and seeing nothing but water as far as the eye can see.
A family man decides to test himself against Whistler, BC's mountain biking elite.
I'm Scott Pettit, Dr. Scott Pettit to some. I like to hit the jumps and ride the stunts. I don't like taking my hands off the bars and my feet off the pedals. Tricks are for kids.
And finally, one of the most creative minds in climbing sets his sight on a death route and tries to engineer a new piece of gear so that he can climb it safely.
There's this piece of rock that we're calling the Flake up on the Chief. It's right above the classic split pillar, and it is just this honking huge thin piece of rock that's just dangling like a guillotine on the Chief. And if you put a regular cam behind it and pull on it, the thing actually will move out from the wall far enough that it could break off, and you could get like a 2,000-pound block falling down the wall. The anti-cam hopefully will pinch it instead and pull straight down on it.
This is the season. 5 lives, 5 remarkable stories, 22 episodes, and a whole lot of fun. It begins right now. For more information about today's music and to subscribe to the show, visit theseasontv.com. Support for the show comes from Arc'teryx and New Belgium Brewing, with additional support from Kuat Racks and Outdoor Research. These companies, they came together to help us create stories from the community for the community. And for that, we owe them a big thanks. See it first at arcteryx.com.